Plenty of bright blue skies to enjoy, right? A lot of warmth, but at least the warmth we're dealing with right now is in the upper 70s, lower 80s, and it is comfortable. It is bearable. That will change as we get closer this afternoon with heating temperatures. Now, the radar is also going to get a little more active as we make our way through later this afternoon. So soak in those clear skies right now. Not only are we dealing with no rain, but barely any cloud coverage at this hour. Temperatures right now in Tampa, 81 degrees, though. It feels more like 84. You're working with the humidity, you're working with some higher dew points, and it is making things feel pretty sticky out there. All right, this is live up in the sky in Tampa. Let's take you down to the surface in Tampa from our Armature Works weather camera. One pop-in spot that will be increasing throughout the weekend. We'll gradually get a few of those mostly clear skies, then turn partly cloudy as we get towards later this afternoon. And that will happen also as temperatures continue to climb. But notice I pointed out that dew point earlier. When it's in the 70s, you feel it. It just makes that air much more uncomfortable. You are feeling just how sticky it is out there. And that really hangs out with us even through the afternoon. So just make sure you have a way to keep yourself hydrated or take breaks in the shade, because right now, while those 80s are fine and dandy, they are aiming for the 90s later this afternoon. That east wind helps with that. That actually helps to warm things up and keep things above normal. So we'll keep that around 5 to 10 miles per hour for the next couple of hours. I will tell you by this afternoon, especially for our boaters, keep in mind around the bay, we'll get a bit of a sea breeze going, so they'll gradually shift out of the west. But we'll keep seas right around 2 feet with a moderate chop out on the bay. Soak up the first half of today, because later this afternoon, I will be watching out for a few showers and storms possibly trying to bubble up around the bay and even through that I-75 corridor. So that will be the hot spot to see those increasing rain chances. First, we'll cloud things up, partly cloudy. We'll still get plenty of sunshine in there, and that's what's going to help to heat up those temperatures. But we will start to bump up those rain chances, 40 to 50% chance late in the afternoon through the early evening. Then those showers will taper down. We really will lose the heat of the day, and that will shut down those rain chances. But notice how we get a little bit of drier air cutting through for your Sunday. It'll still be warm, it'll still be muggy out there, but I do think we'll keep the radar mostly quiet. If we see a 10% chance of a sprinkle in the afternoon, it's really going to be focused towards South Florida. So let me walk you through the future cast, because the weekend is changing when it comes to this forecast. We had a bump up rain chances ever so slightly today. Coverage won't be impressive. I think this model's kind of overdoing it, but right around 2, 3 o'clock in the afternoon, a few isolated showers will start to pop up, especially along the coast and I-75. Then we get a bit of our sea breeze going. This is the pattern we've seen over the past couple of days. Our East Coast sea breeze, West Coast sea breeze. We're working with more moisture overhead, and it squeezes out of the atmosphere late in the afternoon through the early evening. Think 5, 6, 7 o'clock. That will then try to push back off towards the Gulf Coast. Right around 8, 9 o'clock. By 10, I think we're shutting everything down, and we're looking at partly cloudy to mostly clear conditions overnight through tomorrow morning. There's indication we're going to be getting a little bit of drier air cutting through high up in the atmosphere tomorrow. So that will actually really lower the moisture that we have to work with, and that is why we're barely calling it a 10% chance for an isolated sprinkle tomorrow. Most spots will miss out on that. So today's kind of our last day of really good rain chances, and even that is still on the lower end. Over the first part of next week, we will keep rain chances right around a 10 to 20%. We need them to be a little bit higher, because as of our last drought monitor that came out on Thursday, this is still not a good situation for us, dealing with severe to extreme drought conditions. So we're transitioning into that rainy season, but not quite there just yet. And that's why we're keeping those rain chances still on the lower end each afternoon with some heat sticking around.